Hold on, Bella.
Hi,
Oh,
I'm
you
here.
are. There you
Hello,
are.
oh my goodness. This is so strange because this must be the first time we've seen each other
I
or met
know. This is
after all these years.
and it's been way too long, Bella. I should
I
have
know.
been on Exeter's campus many, 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 many years ago.
Come over.
I know.
Yeah. Now things are a bit easier. Yeah. My colleague Alex is here joining us.
Hello, Alex. Very nice to meet you.
Hi, it's lovely to meet you too.
Okay, so right now
Yeah,
we
Alex
have.
is. How long have you been in the team now?
I'm sorry,
I think I've been for 6 months.
Alex has been in the team for 6 months and sort of recently graduated from Exeter, and she did a year abroad.
Where did you go, Alex?
Well, I started in Hong Kong, but then the protest happened, so I ended up in South Korea.
Oh, okay.
So,
oh, wonderful.
A couple different places. Is it okay if I test sharing my screen?
Oh, I need to do that before we've got 2 minutes. So yes, I'm gonna do that with both of you. I'm gonna make you co-hosts.
Thank you.
And you should be able to share your screens.
I'll give it a go.
Okay. And we have one student who is waiting, who is in our waiting room. And I did message him just to let him know that we were waiting for others to join.
Mm-hmm. Do you see that okay?
Yes, I do. Oh, wow.
Oh, fab. Okay.
Oh, wait, what is it? Okay, what building is this?
It's Reed Hall on our Streatham campus. It's very beautiful, actually, isn't it?
It is. It's one of the original because the campus is spread across what was private grounds originally. So you had all these lovely big houses and grounds around, and then sort of over the years, they all joined together and became part of the university campus. So
is this a residence hall?
Yeah.
Is this a residence hall?
No, it's not. It's sort of general. It's like a staff building, I suppose. There's a staff restaurant and meeting rooms, and staff lounge.
Really nice cafe.
It's a lovely.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
They host a lot of balls there and big functions.
Oh, really? This is where. Oh, okay. Oh, I need to come over when things quiet down a little bit more, right?
Yeah. You can get married there as well. It's an official venue for weddings. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Bella, I have to find a partner first. I think that's the order in which you do these things.
Okay. Yeah, I've jumped the gun there.
I mean, if memory serves.
I was in there actually only a couple of weeks ago because we did a little cream tea for our new students in the cafe. It was really lovely, actually. They have like fairy lights up in the big ceiling and across all the pillars and stuff. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful. All right, so let's see. Okay, let's see if we can start. This is being recorded, so you both know. And we've informed our students that for those who cannot join, we will certainly be joining. I mean, we will certainly be sharing this out to them.
Okay,
we do have 2 students, so both of you know, that are planning and have begun the application process for fall. But I don't see either one of them there, but then again, they may be joining a little later, but I'll be sharing this with them. All right, so the way we're going to do this, I guess, is just if you will introduce yourselves and begin your presentation. And as I said, we're recording this, so if you would like a recording of it, we could provide that to you as well. All right, well, I'm going to admit John. John is joining us. Hello, John. Are you with us? John, can you hear me? I think you're muted. Oh, there you are. Hi, John. John, can you hear us? And there's Margaret. I'm going to ask you to unmute, John. Okay, John, hello.
I think he's put into chat that he's got an old laptop with no mic on.
Oh, okay. All right, let's see. Can you hear us? Yes, great. Okay. All right, so Megan, Margaret.
Good morning.
Oh, hi, Margaret. Good morning.
How are you all doing?
Doing fine. How about you?
Doing well.
Okay. All right. Well, we will start. It's a few minutes after 10. We do have our representatives from the University of Exeter. And I know you're very excited about that, Margaret, right? Because you're applying for fall. Bella, Alex, I will turn it over to you.
Thanks very much, Laurie. And nice to meet you, Margaret and John. Yeah, my name is Bella and I work in the Global Opportunities team. I'm Global Opportunities Support Officer. I've worked and studied abroad now for over 20 years. I think Laurie, I think also the same. I worked with Laurie for many years. So it's great to have an opportunity to talk to you about study abroad at Exeter. I'll just hand over to my colleague Alex to say a few words about.
Yeah, hi, I'm Alex. Unlike Bella, I actually only joined the team about 6 months ago, and I graduated in a politics with study abroad degree from Exeter last summer. So definitely feel free to ask me any questions about student experience. I'm still desperately trying to hang on to my student past.
Well, we're going to talk to you a little bit about study abroad at Exeter and the sort of experience you can expect if you choose to apply to Exeter, if you come to Exeter. And at the end, please feel free to ask any questions you might have. Exeter is located in the southwest of England. It's a lovely part of England. It's consistently rated one of the best places to live in the UK. We're about 2.5 hours by train from London, about an hour away from Bristol. Both cities have really good airports, so very good transport links. Our Penryn campus in Cornwall is approximately 5 hours from London, so a little bit further on. But as I say, there's very good local transport links and national transport links. And at the start of orientation, our Freshers Week, as we call it, there is a meet and greet service which brings students from Heathrow Airport to the Exeter campuses and the Penryn campus. We have 5 academic colleges, 3 campuses across the southwest. So we have in Exeter, we have the Streatham and St Louis campus, and our Penryn campus is in Cornwall. Streatham campus is our main campus. It's where most students will be studying and where all of our colleges have a base. As you can see, it's a lovely campus. We feel very lucky to work here. It's registered botanical garden. has a really lovely mix of old buildings and newer sort of more modern buildings. We have a forum building, which is our one-stop shop in the centre of campus. This beautifully designed glass connects the library with Student Union building, and within it we have our student information desk, which is sort of one-stop shop for student queries. We have a supermarket, we have a cafe, all the central facilities that students might all need to use. Approximately, I think over 300 million has been spent on investment in the campus, and that includes our sports park, which houses one of the best gyms in a British university. We also have a tennis centre, we have hockey pitches, we have football, rugby pitches. We're a very sporty university, so if that's your thing, then Exeter's a good place to be. Our St Luke's campus is just the other side of town. It's where our Department of Sport and Health Sciences is based. It's one of the best departments for that subject area. There's a bus which links both campuses, so it's really easy to get between Streatham and St Luke's campus. And the St Luke's campus itself is very well located for town. It's about 10 minutes walk into the centre of Exeter. And in fact, the Streatham campus also is well linked to the centre of town. I'd say maybe 20 minutes walk. And as I mentioned, there is a public bus service which links both campuses to the city centre. So really easy to get around. Exeter is quite a compact city. So City of Exeter and the local area, you have a picture there of our cathedral. Construction was started, let me just double check my notes. Well, it's construction was completed around 1400. It's a beautiful space. You can see out the front there, there's the Cathedral Green, really popular in the summer for picnics and just getting together. We also have an Exeter Festival, which takes place in the summer. So lots of craft stalls, we have music. Yeah, it's a lovely spot, and definitely somewhere you should visit. As part of our orientation, actually, we were able to arrange private tours of the cathedral. Really interesting. So yeah, just something to look out for if you come to Exeter. The city populated around 130,000, and the student population must be around 15,000. So the student population is a really big part of Exeter life. A lot of what goes on in the city is geared towards students and student life. We have a very good music scene, live music. We have an art centre, the Phoenix. We have our Victoria and Albert Museum, which is an award-winning museum, lovely space right in the middle of the city. That's also another really nice thing about Exeter, is everything is very central. We have the Quay area. We have a river going through Exeter, and there's a lovely area down on the quay with which has cafes, bars. You can hire kayaks to sort of paddle down the river, bicycles. I think the good thing about Exeter is a mixture. It has everything, really. If you're an outdoorsy person, we're close to the coast. We have Dartmoor. The top left-hand picture there is a picture of Dartmoor. We also have really good shopping. It's quite a modern city. You have a mixture of the modern and the old, and the picture on the left there in the centre, that's our new shopping centre, Princess Hay. And as you can see, it's right next to the cathedral. So very, very easy to get around Exeter. It's also quite a safe city, a very safe city. And we have also on our campuses are very safe as well. We have 24-hour campus security. So yeah, you're well looked after. And the city is a really friendly, student-friendly city.
So our other campus is based down in Cornwall, and it's our Penryn campus. It's a lot smaller, it's very intimate, very friendly, and it shares facilities with Falmouth University next door. We offer a number of subjects there. Most students tend to go for our environmental sciences subjects. The campus is very well known as one of the best in the UK, and we like to call it like a living laboratory, in that you're studying the nature around you, essentially. And it's also home to the Camborne School of Mines, which again is an award-winning school in the UK. And Penryn also has our environment Institute, which was recently involved in the discussions in St Ives and the Glasgow COP26 conference. So lots of sustainability focus in Penryn. The nearest town to Penryn is, of course, Penryn, but also Falmouth. And Falmouth is a really beautiful place. And even if you're at the Exeter campus, we always recommend you head down to Cornwall to have a look. It's regularly voted as like the best county to live in the UK. It's full of really beautiful beaches, a very big outdoors scene. So lots of surfers, lots of paddleboarders, hikers. And also home to lots of really good eateries and festivals that happen in Falmouth. There's a very famous maritime festival where everybody's singing, like those TikTok famous songs, like the old shanties from sailors, and Truro, and in general, Cornwall is really well known for that. It's just a short train ride away from Exeter. It is a bit further inland, so do be prepared to travel a bit further than you would to Exeter, but it's always worth it when you get there. And just the countryside around it is so beautiful. And you can see in the bottom left picture, this is Minack Theatre, which is actually a theatre on the coast, and they perform all sorts of Shakespeare and amazing plays out there, and you just go and sit with the sun setting behind you. It's really beautiful. So, as you're probably aware, if you're interested in coming to UK university, one of the best ways you're going to get to meet people is by joining a society. At Exeter, we have 300 societies, and on our Penryn campus, 150. And we really do have a society for everything. And students are always shocked when they come and they think, we're going to have to find a more general interest, but no. Seriously, if you're interested in hummus, there's a hummus society. If you're interested in playing Quidditch society. Literally everything under the sun has a society at Exeter, and you're more than welcome to get involved. Most societies will have regular socials, as in meetups. Some societies will have balls and big social events that you can go to. And it's just a really great way to get to meet other students who share your interest, however unique. We also have some award-winning student media at Exeter that you can get involved with. We have quite a few students on exchange this year writing for Expose, which is the university newspaper, which has recently won the best in the UK university newspapers, the national award for that. And they write about their exchange experience and life back home. And so there's definitely many opportunities for you to get involved. We're also very good at sport, as Bella said earlier. Sport is a massive thing here. In fact, right now, we've got the rugby varsity playing at the local big stadium against a rival university, and a lot of students are down there cheering on the team. We have over 50 sports clubs at Exeter alone, and state-of-the-art gym facilities with nearly 30 classes available to you. The good thing about sport here is that if you are really competitive and do really well in your sport, then there's definitely a level for you. But if you're also interested in just trying it out, like experiencing the more social element of being part of a team, we have many different levels where you can join, from like very beginner to very advanced. And we do actually offer a sports scholarship for students who are high achieving in sports of up to £2,000 for our exchange students as well. And again, sport is a massive thing here. Even if you're not sporty like me, you can still get involved and cheer on the team. And you'll hear it a lot when you come here, but Exeter colours are green, and everybody says bleed green when they're here. And the last thing you'll hear from me today is about the support that we provide. We've been running a lot of orientation programs, and we've just come off the back of it. As Bella mentioned, we did cathedral tours, we did cream tea in Reed Hall, we went on a day trip down to Cornwall to St Ives, and we've got an upcoming event that we call Inbound Games, which is like a games evening for exchange students to compete against each other for a really nice Exeter hoodie. And so we really do focus on making sure that you have the best experience possible whilst you're here. And there's lots of support available to you from our team as well as the rest of the university. So when you arrive, you'll be given an academic personal tutor who you can go to if you have any issues with your studies, and also they can provide you things like a reference for your career in the future, and also just really nice people to have a chat to about what you want to go into, what you're interested in studying. We also have peer support and buddy schemes available to you, as well as wellbeing services. These are accessible to you at any time and can help you out with any needs that you have. We do ask that in advance, if you do have a mental health difficulty or physical disability, that you do let us know, so we can put the arrangements in place before you come. But we have an amazing team here who are always willing to support students. And finally, we do offer a lot of English language support, but I don't think that's going to be much of a problem for you guys. But just in case you want to do your brush up on your academic writing skills, for example, there are all sorts of clubs and classes that you can go to that help your academic writing or presentation skills, things like that.
Apologies, I have a very unruly mouse, but I'm here now. Our career zone is a real strength at Exeter. Obviously, a lot of what they do is geared towards advising students who are going to graduate. They run fairs, employers' fairs, and that's something that our exchange students can take advantage of. All the information advice that our career zone provide to our students who are graduating. So if there's a particular industry you'd like to go into or thinking to go into, you can speak to our career advisors and they can tell you a bit more about how to apply, perhaps sort of give you more in-depth background, perhaps talk to you about students who into those fields before. So you have access to all that career support, all the support that our Exeter students have, and that applies actually across the university for all our support services. They of course run sessions and workshops on team leading, how to write a good CV. They do mock interviews, so you can register to take place. One of the career mentors will set up a mock interview for you and talk to you about your how you performed, perhaps strengths, weaknesses, how you can improve on your interview technique. We also have something called challenges online, and that takes the end of the academic year, so it wouldn't really be applicable to students coming in semester one. But if you were to come for a full year, it's a week at the end of the academic year where students from different subject areas get together to collaborate on trying to solve sort of major world problems, so things like food security, climate change. And they work with sort of leading external speakers, professionals, and also with our researchers. And at the end of the week, they put together a presentation which is given to other students, given to staff, and it's just a really good use of that week for our students. We also have workshops, or actually green consultants. Though if you're particularly interested in sort of climate change and sustainability, you can join a consultants group to learn a bit more about what the university does. With reference to climate change, we actually have one of the best climate change departments in the UK, and a couple of our professors are world leading in that area. So if that's a particular interest of your sustainability environment, Exeter would be a good place to come. So moving on to accommodation, I think accommodation is next. Housing, obviously really important part of the study of your experience at Exeter. Now it's guaranteed for full year students. It's not guaranteed for one semester students in Exeter. We have a limited number of university rooms available. However, if you apply in good time, you have a good chance of getting one of the university rooms. Most students will live in private accommodation. Now that can be, there's different options. You can live with a private landlord. You can perhaps get together with other students and share a flat. We also have private companies that provide student sort of university type accommodation, so blocks of shared flats that you can rent rooms in. The only difference is the ownership. The university doesn't own those, but they are essentially student accommodation. So there are a lot of options in the private sector, and our accommodation office has a really good website on how to find accommodation in the private sector. And we can also help. We have guidelines that we can give you. Very often it works out cheaper to rent privately. So it's something to think about when you're planning to study abroad. Application. So we would expect students to normally have completed a 1-year undergraduate level, and we would ask for a minimum GPA of 3 out of 4. Full-time study at Exeter is 120 extra credits. One semester is 60 extra credits. And our deadlines are there for you also. When it comes to applying to Exeter and you're considering what modules you'd like to take, it's really important to have a look at module descriptions. Have a look at any prerequisites that might be required. For certain modules, you might have to have a certain amount of background experience in a subject area. So really important you look at that, and also look at the full module description to see what the forms of assessment are. You'll also get information on reading lists, etc. So you can get a good idea what's involved with the modules by looking at your research basically on our module pages, and we have very clear signposts to the module lists in our different colleges on our website.
So I hope you'll enjoy this picture of some paddleboarding graduated students on our Penryn campus. I always include this one because it's just such a fun photo. And you can only imagine the circumstances that they were taking it in. I'm not sure how they're still quite dry. I don't know. But we do have a couple of social media accounts that I recommend you follow. Of course, if you want to email us at any time, feel free to contact us at inbound@exeter.ac.uk. But we also have our Instagram and TikTok accounts where we keep you up to date with information about application and also what's going on in Exeter and how you can get involved with what's happening. We also will invite you to a Discord chat once you've completed your application, and I think we have over like 400 students on it now, and everybody's chatting, and it's a good way to get to meet people and go to events and organize things. So yeah, I'm sure myself and Bella would be happy to answer any questions.
And Margaret, John, questions for Bella and Alex? John, you can chat. Yes.
I don't think I have any questions. I think that was really informative and answered a lot of the questions that I already had, about the application and student life and everything like that. So
Okay.
Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome, Margaret. Before you go, I think it's important that Bella and Alex both know that you are a psych major and pre-law minor. So Bella and Alex, I know there are certain requirements for psych majors. So could you share that in particular with Margaret?
Yes, certainly. Currently, our psychology department, they restrict the modules that are available. They are quite specific, and they will exchange with or receive students from universities with whom they have subject-specific agreements. But what we do have is an extensive range of psychology-related modules. So, for example, in our sports and health sciences department, you can do a module on sports psychology. I can email you a list actually, if that would be helpful, because I was going through this just the other day, actually reviewing our list of psychology-related modules. So, if that would be helpful, Margaret, I could send that to you perhaps via Laurie.
Yes, please.
And
Yeah, that sounds great.
I was just going to say, if you are a pre-law student, then we have an excellent law department in Exeter as well, and there are very few restrictions on the modules in law, so lots of choice there. And of course, we allow you to take up to 50% of your subjects outside of your discipline, so don't feel restricted to psychology courses or law courses. There's a bit of room for choice, and we always recommend that students do study what they're interested in and take this as an opportunity to like branch out a little bit.
We just
That's
heard
wonderful,
from-
because I'm not very picky right now on the classes that I need to take. I'm doing pretty well with my entire course load. So anything that's available, I'm pretty flexible.
That's great. I mean, because you can pick across the university. We do recommend that students choose a minimum 50% in one subject area to minimize the chances of timetable clashes. But yeah, the more flexible you can be, great. Yeah, I mean, quite a few students take up the opportunity to learn. We have a really good foreign language centre, and you can pick up languages at all levels. And you can do languages for one semester. And we have beginners, Italian, German, Mandarin. Yeah, there's a real Japanese. There's a range of languages. It's just a suggestion, but it's a really good opportunity for you to study perhaps aspects or subjects that are available to you at coastal, perhaps.
in the chat, John has responded, and he's a business major, considering a minor in history. Oh, John. Exeter is fabulous for your major and minor. So because we've had students from coastal business majors and history majors and or minors. The courses, the modules are fabulous. Yes, Bella, Alex, I think I just said it all, but if you want to elaborate for John, please do.
Yeah, I mean, we have one of the best business schools in the country. It's very well known within the UK, and there's a lot of modules for you to choose from. Literally everything, from business and law to like environmental business, and of course like marketing and things like that, communications classes. We really do offer everything within our business school, and it has its own career service that's separate to the rest of the university career service, which is dedicated to business school students, and they really do support you branching out there. And of course, if you're interested in like entrepreneurship or anything like that, then Exeter's really supportive. There's funds available for entrepreneurs starting businesses. There's societies you can get involved with, and there's lots of like days, like think tank days, where you can go along and like pitch ideas to leading experts. And it's, yeah, a really amazing business school. And of course, I'm sure Bella can talk a bit more about history, but we have a fantastic history department as well.
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look through the history modules, and it is a range of modules, everything from 18th century Britain to module about JFK, Stalinism. Just having a quick look, understanding the modern world, the First Crusade. So it really does span the ages. So there's a really good selection. So I'd encourage you to have a look. Modules for 22, 23 haven't yet been confirmed for most subject areas yet, but they will be, I think, from next month. So very soon. I can't believe we're March almost already. But yeah, they'll be confirmed very soon. So if you just keep an eye on our website, we'll be updating the links to the relevant, pages for you.
Okay. I'm just chatting with John. I know Margaret is looking to go in the fall, so I'm just asking John if he is looking at maybe spring of 23. So let's see what John has to say.
I can see that he's popped it. Southwest, it looks amazing.
Yeah, I know.
100%.
Yes,
It's
I know.
so,
I know. Yeah,
it is so
love that
beautiful.
chat.
I mean, even if you're in Exeter, Penryn and Falmouth, by the way, is basically on the beach. You're right next to the coastline, but even Exeter, which is our more inland campus is only 20 minutes train down to the beach, and students love it. Like, you see people going there, you know, to watch the sunset, to watch the sunrise if they're feeling if they're feeling up to it. But it's a really beautiful, massive beach with like loads of water sports opportunities as well, if you want to do paddle boarding and surfing and things like that. Yeah, it's an amazing location.
And you don't have to have a car. So local transport's really good. As Alex mentioned, the coast is just sort of 20 minutes away. You get a train, you get a bus, connects all the towns along the coast. Really good transport links up to the north of Devon as well. Very interesting. The north of Devon is kind of very rugged and wild. It's really popular with surfers and massive beaches. And south of the south coast is more sort of little holiday towns, sort of more, not so wild, but very nice, sort of small holiday towns and small beaches. It's very nice.
Transportation costs. Okay, he is looking to go in the spring. Okay. As a 5th-year senior. Okay, I'll talk to John, I'll talk to you about that. About seniors eligibility. So we'll chat about that. So we need to look at something before your senior year. And there's some reasons and policies behind not allowing seniors to go, because while we will pre-approve all of your courses, your modules here at Coastal, and how they will be approved for transfer credit back to Coastal, you are not guaranteed courses or the modules until you arrive at Exeter, and you go through a registration. They do kind of approve things during the application process, but when you arrive, you're going to be enrolled and register for those courses. Sometimes you may have 2 courses that you absolutely need to graduate, to stay on track. And they may be offered at the same time, which happens, and that can be very, very, very problematic and stressful for students. So we do have a policy that our seniors, we don't allow them to study abroad their final semester. John, for you, we need to, we'll keep talking here very soon to get you out before your last year or last 2 semesters. Bella and Alex, since we were, and obviously we would encourage, as you are, our students to do traveling when they can, while at Exeter. Transportation costs, the train, bus, just to kind of, because one of the things that I do for our students is put together an estimated budget. So just giving them an idea maybe of travel expenses on their own, and they will travel. I mean, I know from all of my students that I have sent over the years to Exeter, every chance they get, they do travel a lot. So can you speak to maybe the cost of transportation in its various modes?
Yeah, definitely. So Exeter has a main train station there where you can reach several different major networks in the UK. And in general, if we're talking travel within the UK, basically train's going to be your best bet. And when you arrive, if you know that you're going to do a lot of travel, we recommend that you apply for this student rail card, which will give you 1/3 off all of your train fares. And the fares do really vary how long in advance you book it, and like through which website and things like that, and like if it's a peak time or not. But I think to London, I went a return to London a couple of weeks ago, and it cost me about £35 with my rail card. But of course, if you're thinking about European travel, well, there are many, many airports, not only in Exeter, but also Bristol and London airports are really accessible to students via train. And there's very cheap flights to Europe. I mean, literally £5 flights. And there's like a joke at the moment that you'll pay more for the bus to get to the airport than the flight to the foreign country. So it's definitely, travel is something that we recommend. It's very accessible, and especially with COVID easing, I mean, you can get the train over to mainland Europe even, directly from Exeter, essentially. You just have to change over in London. And it's a very easy process to travel abroad.
Yeah,
And
we
quite
have
cheap.
we have the budget airlines who operate, quite a few of them operate out of Bristol Airport, and Bristol Airport's not far at all. People like Ryanair, EasyJet, and as Alex mentioned, you can get some ridiculously cheap flights mainland to mainland Europe. Exeter, we do have a small airport, and it does flights out to Europe. Prices vary, you know, it's a small airport, but definitely worth checking out. But Bristol is a really good bet for probably the best bet for cheap flights, and you know, a fairly local airport as well. So yeah, definitely worth doing, taking advantage of being over here to explore as much as you can, and also you know, exploring the UK. You know, because I was just speaking to some friends earlier in the week, and they were talking about Scotland. I've never been, and it's beautiful, apparently really beautiful. So we got some lovely places, yeah, the United Kingdom. So worth doing some research into sort of travel options and transport options.
Since we are in the middle of relaxing, hopefully, the pandemic and the COVID that we have endured for the last 2 years. Safety protocols, your protocols at Exeter, should a student arrive and need to be tested in the fall. Hopefully it won't be this way in spring, but in fall. Quarantine requirements, safety protocol, just what Exeter is providing to students that find themselves testing positive, support at Exeter. If you could speak to that for our students as well.
Yeah, certainly. We've had and still have testing across campus. We have free tests. Staff and students can collect free test kits, lateral flow tests, from various points on campus. We have a rapid response hub who keep track of sort of COVID tests. If a student tests positive with lateral flow, if they contact the rapid response team, they will contact them immediately to send out a PCR test. And the rapid response teams liaise very closely with any students you know, who are infected. Regarding quarantine, actually what I'll do is I'll put a link in the chat. We've got a really good website with information for students. And quarantine, the university is set up so that we keep in touch with students who are quarantining. They have access to all the classes online, like most of the resources are online. There are events for students, online events that students can join if they're not able to participate in person. The university will facilitate sort of getting food to students if they're not able to get out and do any shopping for any reason. They will we keep an eye on those students that are quarantining. But I will send you this link because that has some comprehensive information.
Yeah, and just to say that the university's opened up like food outlets on campus and things to deliver specifically to quarantining students. And they do this really nice thing that they'll just give you a £40 voucher for a takeaway, You can use it for Netflix, like Google Play Store, App Store. There's literally, they just literally will just give you £40 to keep you occupied whilst you're quarantining. But the laws are constantly changing in the UK as well. So who knows if you'll still need to quarantine. But I would say that Exeter definitely does prioritise your health and safety. We have free masks available in basically every building on campus. We do recommend that students wear a mask at all times. As Bella said, you can pick up free lateral flow tests from a number of different points in the university, but also in town at pharmacies. Lateral flow tests are always free in the UK. And I know that definitely we recommend doing at least a couple a week whilst you're studying in person. And just to say, all of our classes are in person and back to normal. We do have alternatives if you are isolating, but it's close to how it was pre-pandemic. Not quite there yet, but definitely expect the normal experience of going to your classes and things like that.
We do also have vaccination clinics on campus. So if students haven't had the vaccine for whatever reason, you can get vaccinated on campus.
John, Margaret, questions? Additional questions?
I have none.
No? Okay. Was this very helpful for you, Margaret?
Absolutely, especially all of the COVID-19 information was very helpful to have. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. John, anything? Great. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, John, Margaret, for joining us. I will certainly be in touch, Margaret, with you here very soon, moving forward with your existing application. And John, I will be reaching out to you. John, if you could, in the chat, give me your email so I can reach out to you, so we can start looking at maybe spring of 23, fall of 23. If you could provide that to me, we can start the process. Bella, Alex, I can't thank you both enough for joining us this morning, or in your case, afternoon. So we're just looking forward to sending students your way. And hopefully you've got some students coming our way. Yeah. So again, I hope you both have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you,
Thank
Laurie.
you again.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And thanks to John and Margaret for coming along. And if you have any questions, Laurie, if any students have any questions, by all means, do feel free to direct them our way. And yeah, happy to help.
Wonderful. Again, have a great day, everyone.
And bye.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.